Hello, everyone, and welcome to my review of Alba, a wildlife adventure. We're going to be doing it on this screen just because I feel like it's a bit cooler. But yeah. So, the first thing I want to mention when I talk about this game is that it is a short game. It's a short game with a very simple story, but that in no way hurts it. For what it goes out to achieve, which is just a fun little wildlife exploration game, sorry, where you are. I'm a little sick right now with the cold, by the way, so. Whew. Trying not to cough and sneeze and splutter. Um, where you're trying to explore the island, fill up a nature guide, and find the mysterious Iberian links. And it does a very good job of that. It is, the story is, in my opinion, just a little bit too utopic for my liking, but that's a personal thing. All in all, the story is really good, and this isn't like a game for like adults. This is like it really is a children's game. I mean, that's pretty obvious, and it's a super cute game where you're just running around as a little girl trying to take pictures of animals. And honestly, I had an absolute blast playing it. I knocked it out in a single session of about 5 hours, maybe a little bit more. And I was taking my time. I didn't do everything. There was one side quest I didn't finish, and some of the side quests were a little bit repetitive. It was like, oh, you finished one step? Okay, do the next step. But they were pretty fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun doing all of the side quests. There were special scenes where you took pictures of specific animals that was extremely fun. I liked the amount of effort they put into the animals, giving each a unique look, and also going through the struggles of finding their scientific names, which I hate Latin. But I respect the game devs for that. They put a lot of effort into it. I also thought the art style was super unique, um, but it was still like done in a way that made it pretty easy to identify each animal. So I thought that was really well done. I also did like the camera feature that they gave. My one thing was it's a little bit finicky, but honestly, that did help with the realism aspect of this game. For those of you who have used like wildlife cameras like Seek by Eye Naturalist and stuff like that, oh my god, they're the worst in the world when it comes to identifying stuff. So that was totally understandable. It was also pretty fun. The map was big enough that it felt like there was just so much to explore, and then as you kind of explored it, it felt small, but also small enough that you could get around the island relatively fast. And even once it felt like it had shrunk down a little bit, it still didn't feel too small. Um, the plot of the story was pretty good. I mean, like I said, it's simplistic, but this isn't a game for a AAA game where you're expecting to sink in 100 hours. This is a 5 to 6 hour game at most. That's really fun, actually, and worth the price. It is on the cheaper side, and that's because it's such a small game. And Plug-in Digital is a really good studio. They make a lot of very good games that aren't that long, but they're extremely good. And that's what this game was. I also liked how they weren't like unwilling to shy away from corruption, the concept of it. So that was pretty nice. And in terms of gameplay, there was one issue where the game had a habit of just lagging. Um, it would just completely lag out, wouldn't move, and there was nothing I could do about it. And it would freeze for about 30 seconds, or for up to 10 to 30 seconds. And I did keep a timer on interactions, like on certain interactions. Game wouldn't crash, but there would be that freeze. So that did hurt the game, in my opinion. But that was one blemish on a game that, for what it set out to do, simple, fun little narrative adventure where you're going around taking pictures of animals and helping animals in need, brilliant. I will say, for me personally, cleaning up animals that had gotten into oil slicks was a bit like the previous stuff for a layperson didn't really take away from the realism. Like I assumed, oh, okay, when we got the helping out the animals sickened by pesticides. Okay, we're just giving them something that makes them throw up. We got shown how to do this. When it's building a bridge, okay, she gave us a bunch of instruction manuals and gave us a quick tutorial on how to do it. And she promised to go back later and like make sure everything's sturdy. But with the oil slick, it didn't really seem like we'd had any training with that, so that kind of threw me off. If we had had a bit of training from the vet, I feel like I would have been fine with that. But those are two very small, minor knocks on this game. And honestly, 4.9 out of 5 stars, or not 4.9 out of 5 stars, sorry, 9.9 out of 10 stars, and I definitely give it a 5-star rating. Um, I would say it's probably like a 4.95 with that freezing and the oil slick being the two things that kind of take it down, mainly the freezing. But everything else was just perfectly done. And I mean, if I had to rate it a whole, like, give it a whole rating, yeah, I'm going to give it 5 stars. It definitely deserves 5 stars, and I highly recommend you enjoy it. Highly recommend you purchase it and play it if you haven't already. It doesn't take too long to play through. It's super simple, super fun, and it's really easy to just lose yourself wandering around taking photos. And yeah, Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy Completionist playthrough will return sometime. I don't know if it'll return tomorrow because, oh my god, the burnout with that game is just, it's a lot. Anyways, until next time.